Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Manager Geyer, are there any responses to resident inquiries?
None this evening, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? No? Great. Public invited to be heard. This is an opportunity for public comment on any item not set for public hearing. Statements are limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Statements must be related to city business and limited to matters of community interest. City Clerk Small, is there anyone signed up to speak to council tonight?
Yes, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, there is one individual who signed up in advance, and that person is Tim Long.
Thank you. Please state your name, address, or ward, and provide your comments to council. Welcome.
Tim Long, Ward 4, 10661 Utrillo Lane, Northglenn, Colorado, 80234. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to report a little bit on tuning in on what happened at your study session last Monday, the 20th of April. Very curious that you're looking to a consultant to tell you exactly what we stand for. We have a communication problem in Northglenn, evidently. With all the expertise here, there seems to be a difficulty trying to determine who you are. So you've hired a consultant with a curious name called Joy Ride, which I find interesting too. And in the comps, they were looking at 3 different towns, cities, comparable to Northglenn that might be the model for you to emulate. And one of them is Des Moines, Washington, which happens to be on the Puget Sound in the friendly Seattle area. I happen to have relatives and sons and daughters living there. It's not a place that they're necessarily especially attuned to, especially at this location, which is not done well. It's mostly a distribution center and storage center. And then moving right along, they mentioned Farmers Branch, Texas. Interesting place. Population's the same. But the claim to fame is the #1 employer is the IRS. And you picked the only blue city in all of the state of Texas. Very curious. And I think the consultants did a great job picking all of the blue cities they could find that were comparable to Northglenn. It kind of shows you that all politics are in fact local. And here I'm saying also that the #1 choice, though it seems to be, was going to be Reston, Virginia. I don't know if you people take time to look at Reston, Virginia or not, but I did. It happens to be one of the top murder centers in the Washington, D.C. area. It has a population of 65,000, which is 70% more than Northglenn's. And we wanted to trade Reston, Virginia out for Wheat Ridge as a comparable to pick and see a model city for you to emulate. You're looking at your competitors and you're a little bit shy of the competition that might be out there. So this place is just outside Washington, D.C., near the Dulles Airport. 13 dead, and it's one of the great places where they're molesting young girls with illegal immigration, something that they hearken to. It's one of their best places to evidently gravitate to. So when you talk about Eastern values and the experience of having lived in the East, and you bring those values here, I think you can do a little bit better. I think the consultants can do a little bit better too, looking around to emulate other model cities for Northglenn to emulate. Again, you make your statements off the cuff. I'm really surprised at some of the statements you're making. For me, you should be focusing mostly on finance, and I would suggest that every time you have a study session, you have at least one agenda item that addresses your financial situation, because I think you people are, dare I say it, somewhat ignorant when it comes to the latest revenue forecast that soon will be coming your way. I think it'll be a wake-up call for every taxpayer to see what's going to be taking place here in Northglenn. I don't see the sales tax increases being reported. You're still hitting your general fund. It hasn't seen any real change. And I'm projecting you're seeing nearly a $25 million shortfall this year in your reserve requirements. You say you need to be 25% within expenses. My calculations show you at 17%. So you're going to spend more than the city earns. You're going to raid the reserve funds once again for the third year. And most of you people up there don't even know what I'm talking about. And when it comes to leaving taxpayers to pick up the pieces, that's exactly what you're about. So your financial acumen leaves much to be desired. And if I dare say, with some humor, if you're looking for a place and a motto for your city, you might talk about a beast roaming the prairie looking for a place to chow down. Just open the friendly flap of the tent city and you're right here. By the way, there's only 2 other tent cities anywhere in the nation that ever were, and they were in the early 1800s. Thank you for your time. Good luck.
Thank you. Is there anyone on the phone who would like to speak to council? You can press *6 to unmute yourself at this time. Don't see anyone. Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who did not have a chance to sign up and would like to speak to council? If so, please come forward, state your name, address, or ward, and provide your comments. No? Okay. Thank you. We have 4 proclamations tonight, and I will warn everybody I've been sick, so I almost choked on a cough drop in the beginning, but we will get through this. Please join me down front. Welcome, everyone. Our first proclamation is National Day of Prayer, and we have Pastor Saul Gomez, Iglesia Victory Church, who will accept the proclamation. And it looks like he is not present, so we do have our volunteer coordinator, Jenna Gregg, who will accept the proclamation. Thanks for being here.
Of course.
Whereas National Day of Prayer was established by the United States Congress in 1952 and designated by the President as a day for people of all faiths to come together in prayer and reflection. And whereas National Day of Prayer is observed annually on the first Thursday in May, inviting individuals, families, and communities to unite in hope, gratitude, and compassion. And whereas prayer and personal reflection have long been a meaningful part of our nation's heritage, offering strength, guidance, and comfort during times of challenge and celebration. And whereas the City of Northglenn recognizes and respects the diverse spiritual traditions and beliefs of its residents and values the role that faith, service, and goodwill play in strengthening our community. And whereas this day provides an opportunity for residents to come together according to their own beliefs, to seek wisdom, promote understanding, and support one another in building a more unified and compassionate community. Now, therefore, I, Shannon Lugman-Hiromasa, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Northglenn, Colorado, do hereby proclaim Thursday, May 7th, 2026, as a National Day of Prayer in the City of Northglenn, and encourage all residents to observe this day in a manner meaningful to them, whether through prayer, meditation, reflection, or acts of kindness and service. Dated at Northglenn, Colorado, this 27th day of April 2026. This is for you. Would you like to say a few words?
Yeah. So my role here at the city is Community Outreach Coordinator. I have the pleasure of working with multiple faith groups across multiple denominations and faith backgrounds, and it's just wonderful to see how many different groups want to chime in and help volunteer. That's such a core value that all of these groups have. And I also have the pleasure of working alongside Thornton's the Thornton Northglenn, we're kind of trying to blend it together here, but an interfaith alliance that brings together groups of multiple faiths just for them to come together as community and see how they can help out. So we're really grateful to the city for recognizing this day. And I spoke with Sal last week, so I'm sad to see he couldn't make it today, but I will try and get this into his hands for sure. So thank you for honoring this day.
Thank you. Next, we have Public Service Recognition Week, May 3rd through 9th, 2026, and we have Director of Public Works, Sarah Borgers, who is here to accept the proclamation. I'd like to invite you up, please. Oh, and Jenna? Okay. Come on back down, everybody. Welcome. Okay. Whereas Public Service Recognition Week, observed during the first full week of May, honors the dedicated individuals who serve at all levels of government and recognizes their contributions to the communities they support. And whereas public servants at the local, state, and federal levels play a vital role in delivering essential services, safeguarding public health and safety, maintaining infrastructure, and enhancing the quality of life for all residents. And whereas the City of Northglenn is served by a committed workforce of professionals across departments, including the Police Department and Municipal Court, Public Works, Parks, Recreation and Culture, Planning and Development, and Economic Development, as well as administrative and support functions, including the City Manager's Office, Communications, Finance, Human Resources, Technology, and the City Clerk's Office, all of whom demonstrate integrity, accountability, and a deep sense of responsibility to the community. And whereas these public servants include both frontline staff who directly serve and protect the community, as well as those working internally to ensure that operations, programs, and services are delivered efficiently and effectively. And whereas Public Service Recognition Week provides an opportunity to acknowledge and express appreciation for the dedication, professionalism, and contributions of public employees who make a meaningful difference in the lives of Northglenn residents every day. Now, therefore, I, Shannon Lukeman Hiromasa, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Northglenn, Colorado, do hereby proclaim May 3rd through 9th, 2026 as Public Service Recognition Week in the City of Northglenn and encourage all residents to recognize and thank the public servants who contribute to the strength, safety, and vitality of our community. Dated at Northglenn, Colorado, this 27th day of April, 2026. And welcome. Oh, we have more. Feel free to introduce yourselves and if you'd like to say a few words, and this is for you. I don't know who would like to hold this.
Else got it. I'm Sarah Borgers. I'm Public Works Director, and I just want to say we don't usually do this for the money or the glory, right? You don't get into local government for that. We get to make a difference every day, and these are just a few of the amazing team members that we get the opportunity to work with, and it includes City Council too. Certainly, you spend a lot of time with us here as well. So, I'm Sarah. I'll let everyone.
I'm Elle. I'm the Active Recreation Manager over the Recreation Center.
And again, I'm Jenna Gregg, Community Outreach Coordinator, volunteers and faiths and all sorts of things.
Marisa Phillips, Economic Development Specialist, and I can just say this, it really is a rewarding job. You get to, it's really cool to see the difference you do make, so.
We really appreciate the work you do. Next, we have Early Care and Education Provider Appreciation Day, and we have Director of Early Learning Alicia Mullins from the Early Childhood Partnership of Adams County, who will accept the proclamation. Welcome. Woo. And we have other folks as well. Would you like to introduce yourselves real quick?
I am Kara Hockaday, Children's Program Coordinator at the Northglenn Recreation Center. Oh, sorry.
My name's Nicole Gonzalez, and I am also with ECPAC, which is the Early Childhood Partnership of Adams County.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Whereas Early Care and Education Provider Appreciation Day is observed annually on the Friday before Mother's Day to recognize the essential role that child care providers, teachers, and early childhood educators play in supporting children, families, and communities. And whereas early care and education providers create safe, nurturing, and engaging environments where young children can learn, grow, and develop the foundational skills necessary for lifelong success. And whereas these dedicated professionals support working families by providing reliable, high-quality care, enabling parents and guardians to participate in the workforce and contribute to the economic vitality of our community. And whereas early childhood educators foster social, emotional, cognitive, and physical development during the most crucial years of a child's growth, helping to build a strong foundation for future learning and well-being. And whereas the City of Northglenn recognizes the hard work, compassion, and commitment of early care and education providers whose contributions often extend beyond the classroom and into the broader community. And whereas Early Care and Education Provider Appreciation Day provides an opportunity to celebrate and thank these individuals for their invaluable service and lasting impact on children and families. Now, therefore, I, Shannon Lukeman Hiromasa, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Northglenn, Colorado, do hereby proclaim May 8th, 2026 as Early Care and Education Provider Appreciation Day in the City of Northglenn, and encourage all residents to recognize and express gratitude to the early childhood professionals who help shape the future of our community. Dated at Northglenn, Colorado, this 27th day of April, 2026. And we really do appreciate what you do is so incredibly important. Our entire future is basically in your hands. So I would love to give you this, and if you'd like to say a few words.
Yes, we have something written up a little bit that the executive director, Lisa, wrote up. So I will read it. And good evening, Mayor and council members. On behalf of the Early Childhood Partnership of Adams County, I want to thank you for recognizing May 8th as Early Care and Education Provider Appreciation Day. Early care and education professionals work in various settings, including licensed family child care homes, public and private centers, providing an essential service to families so they can work or go to school. In addition to the child care needs for families, we know that the children who attend early childhood programs are engaged in activities and building relationships with other children and adults that will build the foundation of their future success and ability to be contributing members of our society. Finally, the businesses in our community rely on working parents. Therefore, all of us rely on child care being available and affordable. Unfortunately, as a nation, state, county, and city, the availability of affordable childcare is considered to be in a crisis state. Sadly, this crisis is worsening. In 2025, almost twice as many childcare programs closed than in 2024 or 2023. With burnout and economic pressures cited as the top reason, Adams County is one of the 2 counties with the highest closure rates last year. As a result of this and other factors, our capacity to ensure Adams County infants licensed child care decreased. So the way I said that was weird. Infant spaces for children has decreased by 8.5%, with a loss of 50 available slots. Toddlers decreased 18.6% with a loss of 55 slots, and even with universal preschool, we can only provide preschool for 71% of our children in Adams County, meaning the families who live here and are scrambling to figure out child care, going out of the county for care and sometimes making hard decisions about returning to work. What may be contributing to this lack of capacity is that over the past 5 years, other industries such as fast food and retail have increased wages by 5 to 9%, while early care and education providers' wages have increased only by 3%. And these providers' wages are at the bottom 5% of all occupations. Additionally, many do not have access to benefits. However, these providers still come to work every day, and despite their challenges noted here, they recognize the importance of their job and the development of children and the economic stability of families in the community. They provide safe, nurturing, and educational rich environments for our youngest citizens, and because of that, we recognize and appreciate them, not just on May 8th, but every day.
Thank you so much. Great. Our final proclamation is Small Business Week, May 3rd through the 9th, 2026. And we have Hal Reed, Bill Warner, and Donna Sturkle from Old Wagon Antique Mall, love that place, who will accept the proclamation. Please come forward, join us. Welcome, welcome. Whereas Small Business Week is observed annually to recognize the significant contributions of small businesses and entrepreneurs to the economic vitality, innovation, and character of communities across the nation. And whereas small businesses are the backbone of the American economy, creating jobs, fostering local investment, and providing goods and services that enhance the quality of life for residents. And whereas these businesses reflect the diversity, creativity, and resilience of our community and play a vital role in shaping the unique identity and vibrancy of Northglenn. And whereas small business owners and their employees demonstrate dedication, perseverance, and ingenuity as they navigate challenges, adapt to changing conditions, and continue to serve the needs of the community. And whereas the City of Northglenn is committed to supporting small businesses through economic development initiatives, partnerships, and resources that encourage growth, sustainability, and long-term success. And whereas Small Business Week provides an opportunity to celebrate and recognize the contributions of local entrepreneurs and to encourage residents to support small businesses in their community. Now, therefore, I, Shannon Lukeman Hiromasa, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Northglenn, Colorado, do hereby proclaim May 3rd through 9th, 2026 as Small Business Week in the City of Northglenn, and encourage all residents to support and celebrate the small businesses that contribute to the strength, diversity, and prosperity of our community. Dated at Northglenn, Colorado, this 27th day of April 2026. Here you go. Welcome. Would you like to say a few words? We love Wagon Wheel, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you. I want to say thanks to the city of Northglenn, because I've been here for 7 years, but this antique mall's been here for 26 years, I think. So it shows that the community does care, because they come and go a lot, but here they, with the community and with the people in the committee and the city, they do a lot. I've met the chief over there a couple times, you know, and that's what is good, because they listen and they spend the time. She's been in there, I know, at least once, but it's good to have you come and see what the community does. We bring in people from all over the country. I've had people from everywhere, every country you can possibly think of. And this is Northglenn, and it brings them into Northglenn. So that's why I want to thank the committee and the council and you people for doing what you're doing, because it does bring people up to us as well as help your community. So thanks a lot. Did you want to say?
Thank you. I think Northglenn is a great town to work in and be in. Thank you.
I'm Donna, and I'm the cashier and Girl Friday, and I love working at Old Wagon. And I hope you all come and see us.
You are a staple in our community, so we really appreciate that you still stay here, and we hope you will be here for many, many, many years to come. So thank you. That was wonderful. Okay, next we have a presentation by our Youth Commission. We have our Youth Commissioner member, Sarah Kazizada. Let me know if I pronounced that correctly, who will present this report to council, quarterly report. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi there. Okay.
How do you say your last name?
It's okay. You said it right.
Okay, thank you.
You're good.
Good.
But hello, my name is Sarah, and I am the secretary of Northglenn's Youth Commission. So to start it off with, between January and March, we plan projects to support and connect teens in our community, and our projects are still ongoing, but we do know what our next steps are. So one of our main projects is Safe Haven. We finished making our student surveys, and our next step is to work with an organization to send them to Northglenn schools. And this will help us learn what teens need and what resources will help them. And to help teens get involved, we spent January through March planning events. So we divided tasks like marketing, gathering supplies, and reaching out. This led to our teen art jam in April. So it was pretty successful among a small group of teens. We've created art and we all met each other, and it was a fun, small, successful project. And we also joined the Farmer Highland Canal cleanup at Fox Run Parkway, where our youth commissioners helped clean up the area. And people did notice that it was cleaner than the previous year, so there is showing that the community's positive effort. And we're also working on addiction awareness. We plan to team up with an organization and invite speakers and share information to help educate teens about addiction. And lastly, for outreach, we will continue to promote Youth Commission and look for new members so we can grow. And overall, we are making pretty good progress, and we will keep going. So thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much for being here, Sarah. Does council have any questions? Okay, Councilmember Roper.
Thank you for being here. You kind of stole my communications, but that's okay. No, I was going to say the same thing. It's been incredible to see these young people pull so many things together and really work to engage the youth here in our community. So thank you, and I appreciate all the work you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Severs.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you, Sarah, for everything you're doing. And I mean, we can't say, I mean, we can say thank you all day, but engaging the youth is just as hard as engaging the non-youth, which you can see is we're struggling with today. So thank you for being here, and thank you for fighting for Northglenn.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Councilmember Leidy.
I raised my hand late, thank you, sorry. I was taking random notes. You are very well spoken. I just wanted to call that out because it can be really intimidating to talk to a bunch of people, even if there isn't a bunch of people behind you. But you are really well spoken, so thank you so much for that. And thank you for actually caring about engaging youth and getting people to pay attention. I'm the youngest council member, and so that's kind of my biggest goal is making sure that we engage younger generations. And it's awesome to hear that the Youth Commission is doing that for me. So thank you. Keep up the good work. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yes, all of those things. I love our Youth Commission. You are always so active, always so present in the community. And I just want to say that you are all doing such a fantastic job. I love the projects you come up with. I love the effort and yes, very well spoken. So we appreciate the update and we appreciate everything that you are doing. So keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Great, next we're moving into communications and we will start with Ward 1, Councilmember Burns.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you so much to the Youth Commission for that amazing report and update. Appreciate that. And thank you to everyone who came out for proclamations and supporting our small businesses. Okay, a few things to report out. Since I'm the only member from the Finance Committee here this evening, I will report out that we made final decisions and updates on how the budget will sort of be presented to us. We're going like a few layers deeper and more granular this year. So Deputy City Manager Jason and Councilmember Nowicki and I discussed that, and he showed us some options on our finance reporting tool, and so that's what we'll be getting a version of this year. So we're still working out the details, but we all agreed on the level of detail we'll be getting from department budgets. It's just a little bit more granular. I had my information technology and communications NLC meeting as well. It's all data centers and AI. As the Ledge Committee has reported out before, we are keeping track of the data center bills. They have yet to be brought with only 14 days left in session. So there is sort of like a panic moment happening around data centers and what they could potentially look like here in Colorado. So we're looking at it at the national level and here at the state. CC4CA met. We had a board meeting and a Ledge Committee meeting, and Northglenn is obviously in supporting in a lot of the various green or legislative policies going on. You can track those. They're all in alignment with everything on our website. I attended the AdCog dinner at the Thornton Police Training Facility, which was very cool. It was very cool to sort of like see all of our various colleagues across the county and sort of hear what everybody's up to. We all have budget on the mind. And then finally today, I attended our legislative day under the dome with my fellow council members, Severs, Kondo, and Mayor Pro Tem Lukman Hiramasa and Jody Roper. And the biggest, most exciting thing, obviously, was that the Denver FC Summit girls team, the women's team was there, and we got to take pictures with them, and they were getting celebrated, and that was very cool. They are the first women's professional sports team in Colorado, and it was very exciting. I played field hockey personally, and my sister played soccer, but yeah. And I just really want to give a quick shout out to our early child care workers. As I stated, I'm on the wait list. And I also sit on the early child care and education board for NLC. And our phrase that we repeat is child care is infrastructure. Just like roads, just like water, people cannot go to work without child care. And so I just want to reiterate how important that is and what a crisis we actually are in. As they talked about with, pay has not been raised. And then families on the flip side, many families pay more in child care than they do in their mortgage. A study just recently came out that the average family of 4 with 2 kids under 5 has to make $409,000 a year to be able to afford child care in this country. So it's just pretty broken all around. And I will leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Burns. Councilmember Leidy?
Thank you. Well, I'll piggyback off of that. I wanted to thank them, but they left. I am an early childhood educator, and so while they were talking about the pay, I was like, oh yeah, that's why I still live at home. Anyways, moving on, and benefits, that's also non-existent in my line of work, and depending on the district, it just gets worse and worse, and so that is also something that is on my mind, so I'm glad that we brought that up. I did attend last week the House Bill, I have 1285, thank you. It did not pass. I was extremely disappointed with my colleagues and their behavior. And so it just kind of gave me a little refresher of like, oh yeah, make sure we're making eye contact with the people that are talking and not scrolling on our phones or doing unprofessional behavior on the dais. Other than that, I am still attending school. So I go to Front Range and I'm currently in an American government class. And my teacher found out that I am on city council. So there is a discussion post that is going to be filtering through for the next couple of weeks, getting people connected with just trying to communicate with us and letting us know like what their visions are for the future. We have a few people that are Northglenn residents. I'm not sure which wards. They just said, hey, I live in Northglenn. So it was really cool. So you may or may not be hearing from Front Range students. They also may or may not show up. Who knows? But yeah, that's all for me.
Excellent, thank you. Councilmember Severs?
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. Hello to everyone in the crowd. Thanks for coming out. On Tuesday, April 14th, I testified in front of the House Judiciary Committee in support of HB 1285. While it failed to pass committee, the state actually enacted a stricter policy where sex offenders cannot be housed at any of the mental health transitional homes, such as the two on Grant Street. We will be working to ensure that policy is continued no matter who the next governor is. On Wednesday, April 15th, I virtually attended Dr. Cog Board Directors meeting. I'll let Councilmember Kondo speak more on that as I'm an alternate. On Thursday, April 16th, I, along with Councilmember Roper, City Manager Geyer, and CC for the city economic team, attended the Food for Hope benefit, which our city sponsored. It was a very inspiring event. We sat with some youth that spoke and how they've been supported by Food for Hope with recent federal cuts to SNAP and the proposed further 2027 federal cuts to WIC, two vital food support systems. We need more now than ever to have people support food banks. Food for Hope partners with schools and gets food directly to those who need it. Their food bill is about $32,000 a month. Only 15% of the food distributed by Food for Hope is donated, so financial support and food donations are always needed. On Sunday, April 19th, I, along with fellow Dias mate, Councilmember Kondo, attended the Benefit for Almost Home. Another event our city sponsored, another organization that helps our community and its neighbors. They get people off the street and into housing, and as well as bridge the gap with $200 monthly payments to keep people from being evicted and becoming unhoused. Last year, they served 3,517 individuals, including in that was 1,037 individuals that were housed, and Almost Home helped keep 1,700 individuals from losing their current housing. Pretty fundamental stuff, housing and food. Please give if you can afford to. On Tuesday, April 21st, I attended a planning commission meeting here in council chambers. We heard several items on the agenda, most of which will be coming soon to city council for a public comment and further ratification of any proposals. On Saturday, April 25th, I, alongside Mayor Pro Tem Lukman Massa, attended the 39th Annual Fishing Derby Day at EB Range Junior Park. Thanks to the staff that showed up at 6 a.m. on Saturday, including the city manager, for the work on setting up this really rewarding event. And congratulations to all the children that caught the biggest fish in their age group. And overall, it was great to see families out and enjoying the morning together. even if it was a bit chilly. And today, as Councilmember Burns said, today we started the day at the state capitol, thanks to State Representatives Lori Goldstein, Kenny Nguyen, Caldwell Winter, and Senators Lindstedt, Jeff Ridges, Julie Gonzalez, and Kyle Malika for taking time to speak with us. Tomorrow, Councilmember Roper and I will be touring our city's water treatment plant. Thank you, Director. Thanks in advance for the city staff for helping us better understand our current situation so we can better serve the residents of Northglenn. And finally, there's only 63 days left to the June 30th primary election and only 126 days to the November 3rd general election. Please make a plan to vote. Thanks.
Well said. No, Councilmember Nowicki is not here, so I'll go ahead and bump to you, Councilmember Goff.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. April 14th, the DICE board met. The DICE board has decided to commit even more time than they signed up for initially, and we are trying to meet every other week. So we had what we were calling a work session last week, and then tomorrow we'll have our regular monthly meeting. And during that work session, we generated like a draft, I guess I would say, of a community outreach survey. So when DICE was first founded, 5 years ago, we did put out a survey and get input from our residents on what they would like to see us do. And we're going to try to bring that back. And you'll see at our events this summer, DICE board with a QR code or ways to give a survey and let us know how we can improve. And then on April 20th, I met with the Northglenn Senior Organization. And I guess the one thing I would say of note from that meeting is that they did receive 3 requests for that financial assistance, the one-time financial assistance that they have a program for seniors. But only 2 of those were from Northglenn residents. So we need to get the word out. If you're a senior in Northglenn, senior resident in Northglenn, and you having an issue like you need a new water heater, or like your yard needs something to bring it up to code or whatever, the Northglenn Senior Organization does have a program that can offer up to $500 one-time assistance. So I'm just going to keep saying that. And then on April 23rd, I did tour our Northglenn greenhouse, which is actually the City of Westminster greenhouse, but we rent space from them. And I just learned so much. The city, we grow the flowers that you see around in our parks and different places in the city from seed. So to have that space in the greenhouse is really vital. It saves, I think it would probably cost 30 times if we just go out and buy the plants already grown this time of year. And so starting them from seed saves the city a lot of money. We have a wonderful dedicated staff, very knowledgeable to explain, how everything works, and this amazing device where they can plant these little teeny tiny seeds in a big box with all the little squares. It's just amazing. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the staff that works on that. And I think that's it. That's it for me. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Kondo.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. I guess I'm going to start out with a somber report and hopefully end on a positive note. As you know, Mayor Pro Tem, you and I attended on Saturday the American GI Forum, which is quite interesting. I was not aware of this veterans organization, but it was founded in 1948 by Dr. Hector Perez in Corpus Christi. And the reason why this organization was stood up was that in the following aftermath of World War II, there was a Mexican-American soldier by the name of Private Longoria, and his family wanted to bury him in the National Cemetery there in Corpus Christi. Well, they basically said no, because he was not an American citizen, but he definitely did fight for American forces in World War II. So it's quite interesting. A very young senator, Lyndon Baines Johnson at the time, took the cause up, and as well as with Dr. Perez, they founded this organization. It's very interesting. It is a Latino, Chicano-oriented organization to support veterans, although they welcome veterans really of all ethnic backgrounds. And here in Colorado, we have 4 chapters, and at the Delta Hotel on Saturday, they had their state convention. I was privileged to be able to present the mayor's letter in the morning meeting, and then in the afternoon at the gala banquet, we honored 2 Gold Star mothers. And if you're not aware of what a Gold Star mother is, that's basically a mother who has lost a child in battle. And so that was a very somber moment, and I will tell you, I was moved. We also honored actually 4 Blue Star mothers. So these are mothers that have current service members that are serving in our military. And I will tell you, in my life, I have only heard a woman cry out either in joy or sadness. And I'm fortunate not to have heard the latter, but that night, they actually did bring one Army private. Actually, he was a specialist, so I should not demote him, from Kansas, unbeknownst to the mom. So we were sitting there, and actually the Mayor Pro Tem and I, we were sitting at the main table. So we had no idea either. But as they presented the 4th and final Blue Star flag, this gentleman popped out from behind. And I will tell you that his mom, who's from Rio Rancho, New Mexico, was so happy. It was indescribable for me. In any case, I think it was a privilege for the city to be able to host this group. They do a lot for veterans. In fact, the chapter in Pueblo has a meeting venue that is for free for veterans. They do a lot of wraparound services, especially for homeless vets. And I just really, that was a great opportunity for me and an honor to represent the city. I'm wearing blue tonight because I want to support the Denver Nuggets. I know that today it's a do or die sort of thing, so I have my lucky suit on and blue tie. On a lighter note, I too attended the AdCog dinner, although I missed the dinner, but I did do the tour. And unwittingly, I participated in the simulator exercise. And that's about all I'm going to talk about that. If you want to know more, ask our city manager, and she can debrief you on how I did. Anyway. This coming Thursday, North Metro Fire will have its district tour. I know a number of you have commitments and can't make it. But this is going to be a great opportunity for council members of the city and county of Broomfield, as well as Northglenn. I believe Mayor Pro Tem, you'll be going along as well. But this will be from 9 to 4, and there will be a bus to take you around. But if you can't make that entire duration and you want to just hit a certain portion, you're more than welcome to join by car and just peel off at the appropriate time. I highly recommend it. It's really a great opportunity to see our frontline firefighter paramedics in action. And again, just a reminder, and also for our members of our public, I know there's 2 people back there. So North Metro is focused a lot on cardiac care. And in the United States today, if you have an observed heart attack or sudden cardiac arrest, your likelihood of surviving a neuro-free survival is 33%. If you go down here in North Metro Fire District, you have over 70% survival without any neurological defect. And that's really amazing. And so I would encourage you, if you're even not able to make that district tour, if you would like to have a ride-along or a separate tour, please reach out to me, or I can put you in touch with Chief Dougherty, our fire chief, and we can make arrangements for that. NADA I attended, and obviously there's a bill right now regarding the Front Range Passenger Rail, which I emailed members of our legislative committee to talk about, and we also talked about it today during the visit to the Hill. And then lastly, Dr. Cog, as Councilmember Receivers talked about, we did have our meeting. Again, a reminder that the Powerhead Colorado is opening a second subawards window for additional funds to be able to support implementation of energy codes, which I believe Mara Owen briefed us at our last study session. So there's money to be had, and certainly I hope that Northglenn will be able to participate in that. That's all I have to report, Madam Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Councilmember Roper.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. As I said before, we had our youth commission this week, and I'm just going to touch on the highlights again. They had a very successful art jam, and they were able to look at the data that was coming in from that. They also worked on their surveys that they are going to be sending out to Northglenn schools to really focus their special speakers that they have coming in, and then their Safe Haven project. I also had Historic Preservation Committee or Commission, and they are really working to how they're going to partner for the sesquicentennial, and thank you, and how they can partner along and really make an impact within our city to make that celebration amazing. They're also looking at a variety of different buildings throughout our city that have historical value. And we're looking at the date that they were built and really looking at which ones we want to work on preserving moving forward. I attended the Food for Hope Gala. Again, this is such an incredible organization. My school works very closely with them. They support so many of our Adams 12 students here. And one thing, if you are looking to give to the food bank, if you go to a food bank, sometimes it's just the basic necessities such as rice, beans, kind of, as a kid would say, the boring things. And so one thing our school did was we did a cereal drive, because a lot of times that's what the kids would like to have is cereal. And so I know they always love cereal. Also, I joined my colleagues at Legislative Day at the Capitol this morning. And I think to piggyback a little bit onto Councilmember Severs, again, this is important because your voice matters, and a lot of times the only way to share your voice is through your vote. So it is very important that you get out there and vote. And lastly, thank you to everyone who came out to speak tonight. I really appreciate when we are able to hear from our community and their voices. However, I just want to say it is so important and essential that we practice civility. While it is important for the voices of our community to be heard, we must not let pettiness or criticisms creep into our voices in this public space. Using language that's demeaning or degrading to others due to perceived judgments on intelligence or academic acumen is not okay. And as we said tonight, the Youth Commission members were here, and our young people are watching us. We are their role models, and it's important that we show up a little better for them.
I will let you speak. I just want to quickly jump on that and say thank you for saying that, because I think if you watched our meetings, we model civility here up on the dais and how we communicate with each other and with our residents. So thank you so much for bringing that, and especially when it's not necessarily accurate information being given and then in a demeaning way. So continue to practice civility, all of us. But Councilmember Goff?
Thank you, Mayor. I forgot something.
Go ahead.
And this is the Northglenn Senior Organization. I overlooked this particular fact. I just wanted to remind people that Tuesday, that's tomorrow, April 28th, from 12 to 3, the Northglenn Senior Organization partnered with Adams County Aging Network to host a senior resource fair. And it's free at the other end of in the senior center. And there'll be all kinds of resources offered, things explained for seniors. So I'm just encouraging, if you are a senior resident, you don't even have to be a resident of Northglenn for this one, but or know someone who could benefit from getting this information. Please let them know. If you need any more information, you can call the senior center, but that's tomorrow at noon. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that was an important update. Councilmember Burns, do you have something as well?
Yes, sorry.
You forget something.
We're very,
Go
very
for it.
forgetful this evening.
It's one of these days.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. I just want to give a shout out to staff. We celebrated Bring Your Child to Work Day here at the city on Thursday. So I just wanted to say, again, it was amazing. My kids are a little young to actually participate, but they're always welcome. And we hang out, eat pancakes, and leave. But the city manager and staff has a full day of super cool events. They all get their own little badges, and it is very cool. And so thank you to the staff that brought their kids here and got to see our chambers and see what their parents do. And thank you to staff because it was very cool. My kids had a great time. and eat a lot of pancakes.
Also important. Glad you brought that up. Okay, so I guess it's my turn. First of all, if you notice, I've been gone. I was in Italy for a couple of weeks for an anniversary trip, so I'm happy to be back. It sounds like I missed a lot. A lot has been going on, and it seems like I got back and hit the ground running because I already have a lot to report on. The first thing I would like to start with, though, is a statement on the bill that did not make it through committee. Just on behalf of the city of Northglenn, I think it's important for us to just issue this statement and make sure whoever watches this meeting now in the public or later on has an accurate update on what transpired. And I know the city did a great job of putting that information out, but I'll go ahead and read this statement. For the past 2 years, your city leaders have been advocating for the state of Colorado to take your safety concerns seriously when it comes to 2 state-run mental health facilities on Grant Drive. We asked for common sense protections to keep registered sex offenders away from facilities near our schools and playgrounds. After months of negotiation, the state sent back a proposed agreement that left out the most important protections Northglenn asked for. No deal was reached on April 9th. We negotiated in good faith. The state engaged, but ultimately stripped the core safeguards from their proposed memorandum of understanding. On April 10th, they offered to adopt an internal administrative policy extending the sex offender prohibition. We appreciate that step, but an internal policy can be repealed at any time without legislative action, and that is not the durable protection our community deserves. On April 14th, House Bill 26-1285, sponsored by Rep. Lori Goldstein and Senator Kyle Mullica, was postponed indefinitely by Rep. Goldstein in the House Judiciary Committee hearing. That means the bill would not advance this session. We are disappointed by that outcome, but it does not change our commitment to seeing these protections become permanent. Rep. Goldstein did not have the votes necessary to get the bill out of committee. Due to the lack of support to move the bill forward out of committee, we used our time in front of lawmakers to talk about our concerns, discuss the significant need for additional safety protocols beyond registered sex offender prohibitions, and remain committed to continuing this conversation through the interim and into the 2027 legislative session. It's not over, folks. Since the state opened these mental health transitional living facilities without consulting the city, we have documented 78 police calls in roughly 2 years. Absolutely unacceptable, including a violent stabbing in January that put both residents and our officers at serious risk. These are not minor incidents. They reflect a pattern of inadequate supervision and screening that we have raised with the state repeatedly. Moving forward, the state has agreed to meet with Northglenn Police Department and the Crisis Response Unit monthly to review calls for service. They also agreed to meet sooner if any major incidents occur. The city plans to continue our work to keep pushing until these protections are permanent and enforceable. And we stand by that. It's not over until it's over, and it won't be over until we get the protections that we want. So moving into my actual communications, after getting back from vacation and then recovering from being sick, travel cooties, lovely. I attended Derby Days on Saturday, and I was honored to hand out the awards. What a fun event. I want to give a shout out to staff that organized the event. They did such a great job. Rachel Henney was awesome. The prizes were this cute little tackle boxes and little fishing poles that I've never seen something so cute. They were in bright colors, pink and green, and they had these little giveaway bags in the shape of fish with the Northglenn logo. Cutest things I've ever seen. So that was just such a lovely event to come back to, and yes, staff was there early in the morning. It was freezing, and those kids were freezing, but they did stick around for the awards, and congratulations to 8-year-old Azriela Madrid, who brought in an 18 3/4 inch bass. And it's the first time that anybody's actually caught a bass during the fishing derby in 38 years. So that was super cool. 8 years old. She was excited. I also attended the American GI Forum, as Councilmember Kondo did report out on, and it was an honor also for me as the only Latina on City Council to represent the Latino community at this event that just really does amazing work for veterans. I won't repeat what Councilmember Kondo said, but I did cry. I did absolutely cry when they read the stories of the Gold Star mothers, and then happy tears when the specialist, thank you, I almost said private too, don't demote him, when he surprised his mom. But it was really an honor to represent our city at that event, and our veterans deserve more, so we will continue to support them as best we can. Attended Northglenn Day Under the Dome. I don't know if that's the official thing we're calling it. As was reported, it was a very interesting day. I think we need to continue to show up, and we need to continue to advocate, and I think most importantly, need our legislators to see us, to physically see us, that Northglenn shows up, and we will not back down. Here we are, waving to you with all the things that happened in the bill. So I think it was important for us to be there. And again, the highlight was definitely the Denver Summit FC women's soccer team. My granddaughter is 6 years old, and she is really good at soccer. So I'm so excited to show her the pictures that we got with the girls on the team. I was pretty excited about that. Highlight of the day. And then to kind of wrap this up, I have part 2 of my CML webinar series coming up this Wednesday. If you didn't make the first part, you can watch it. It is recorded. So you can go and research that, and it is at noon this Wednesday, live. And then the last thing is I have one request for City Council, and it's not a now thing, it's a whenever staff thing, but I would love for us to look into maybe potentially doing like a Sister Cities program. And I don't know what that would look like. I truly have no idea. I've heard of Arvada's doing it, Broomfield's doing it, Boulder I think has 10 or more cities. They just added Ukraine. Denver has like 10 sister cities. So if you are all in support of it, I will pass that on. And again, it's not an urgent thing. It's just something we can look into. Does that sound good? We have support? Cool. Is that good, City Manager Geyer, for you?
Yes, I think I saw consensus. I didn't see everybody's thumbs, but okay, thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Excellent. Oh, yes, thank you. I would have had to put my hand up myself again. We have our Ward 4 meeting. Thank you, Councilmember Roper, who probably forgot to mention that, for reminding me to say that. It is this Wednesday at Aspendale. We moved the location. It's not at City Hall anymore, just because this just opened up and it's in our ward, and they graciously offered to host us there. So 6 p.m. this Wednesday at Aspendale, Ward 4 residents, or any residents, if you'd like to show up, we welcome you all this Wednesday. Thank you. Let's see, City Manager Geyer, do you have anything for us?
I have a couple things for you this evening. A reminder that next Tuesday, May 5th, the Northglenn Police Department, that is hosting a retirement celebration for longtime Commander Ron Osgood, after proudly serving the community for 34 years of service. We will be holding a pass and review ceremony for him at the Northglenn Justice Center. So please consider this a nudge to RSVP to Madeline if you plan to attend that ceremony. And please do that as soon as possible. For the Bring Your Children to Work Day, we added something new this year. We added a little assignment we asked the youth to identify one thing they really like about the city and then one thing they would want to have improved. So I just read those responses this morning. They're priceless. I think my favorite, and I'm going to share them with you via email tomorrow. I think my favorite, what could be improved, is the bad drivers need to go back to driving school and learn how to drive. So, and then on a lighthearted note, Councilmember Kondo just needs lots of training in order to better respond. given the shooting incident that he was involved in. But it was a great opportunity to remind him that when you're involved in an officer-involved shooting, what comes next? And given the stakes involved and the quick decision-making that officers have to make, Thornton has a TI simulator similar to our training system that we are able to implement within the last year. So I think it was really great for elected officials to be able to see and experience that firsthand. Thanks.
Thank you. And I heard about the incident, Councilmember Kondo. All right, City Clerk Small, do you have anything for us?
I do, really quick. Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Just wanted to let everyone know that appointments are still available for the special passport day that the City Clerk's Office will be hosting on May 9th. The event also kicks off a month-long donation drive. So Food for Hope was mentioned a few times tonight. That organization will benefit from the donations that we collect, along with the Riverdale Animal Shelter. And the donation drive is not limited to customers. If you do bring a donation, you will receive a free passport photo. However, if you just have an urge or a need to give, we are more than happy to collect those donations. We have shelves in the office, and it's really cool to see them fill up. And also, word of mouth is our best advertiser. So if you know anybody who is in need of a passport or an additional form of federally recognized identification, or who just wants to drop off donations, please send them to the City Clerk's office, and additional information is always available online or by calling us at 303-450-8756. Thank you.
Great, thank you. City Attorney Hoffman, do you have anything for us?
Good evening, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. Just briefly, I too attended the legislative breakfast this morning briefly, and now I'm really disappointed to learn I missed the best part by having to leave early. So I unfortunately didn't get to see the soccer team. And in more, I guess, serious news, consistent with the approval by the Thornton City Council on March 31st and this body's approval on April 13th, this past Friday, Northglenn and Thornton collaboratively filed their lawsuit in Denver District Court against the state of Colorado based on what the state of Colorado refers to as strategic growth laws and what we refer to as land use preemption mandates. And so we look forward to asserting the respective cities' home rule authority on local land use decisions related to residential planning and land use, and having a court decide who makes the best decisions on behalf of local residents. And of course, we believe that the city of Northglenn on behalf of Northglenn residents and the city of Thornton on behalf of Thornton residents are in the best place to make those kind of decisions as opposed to the state of Colorado.
Thank you for your work on that. We appreciate it. Great, moving into consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Great, please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Please vote.
I will close that vote, and the consent agenda passes unanimously.
Thank you. We have one public hearing. Will the city clerk please read the title?
A bill for a special ordinance amending the 2026 budget, recognizing revenues and appropriating expenditures by supplemental appropriation for the payment of the costs and expenses of the municipal government, agencies, and offices of the City of Northglenn, Colorado for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2026.
Motion to approve.
No.
Oh, wait. Disregard.
I will now open the public hearing on CB 2036. Comments are limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak either for or against CB 2036? No. Hearing none. I'm sorry. Is there anyone on the phone who would like to speak about CB 2036? You can unmute yourself by pressing *6 at this time. I do not see anybody here. Great, hearing none, I will close the public hearing. Moving into ordinances on second reading, CB 2036, supplemental appropriation and CIP carryover. Is there a motion to approve CB 2036 on second reading?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. We have Deputy City Manager Jason Loveland, who will provide a summary of the item. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. As stated, this is our supplemental appropriation that we do kind of at the first quarter or so as we wrap up the 2025 year. Really, this is reconciliation of commitments that we made in 2025 that just need to be recognized in 2026, and that's on the revenue side and on the expenditure side. You had seen this a couple of weeks ago, so I won't go through the details. We have kind of a reconciliation going on for 32 of our roughly 60 projects that you can see on pages 4 and 5 of the memo. And then also we have purchase orders or other contracts that we have. There's 13 of those that are detailed on page 6. And then on pages 7 and 8, that's really where we see the table within the ordinance itself that identifies what the 2026 adopted budget was, recognizes the 2026 supplemental appropriation, so recognizing the revenues and expenditures, and then showing what the amended budget is. And that is by each fund. Again, they're separated out by fund as they all operate independently of one another. So happy to answer any questions, but with that, staff recommends approval.
I do not see any hands. If no one has any questions, thank you so much. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Please vote.
I will close that vote, and CB 2036 on second reading passes unanimously.
We have one resolution. Will the clerk please read the title?
A resolution authorizing the city manager to issue purchase orders for a total amount not to exceed $1,717,902 for fleet vehicles.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Great. We have Director of Public Works. Welcome back, Sarah Borgers.
Good to see you tonight, Mayor Pro Tem and City Council. So before you, CR 70 is our annual purchase of city vehicles. So you can see there's a list of vehicles here. We regularly go through our fleet. We have a little over 300 vehicles of various types, ranging from construction equipment to tandems and police vehicles and regular passenger vehicles. As a part of that assessment, we give these vehicles ratings. 1, it would be a new vehicle. 10 would be a vehicle that's sort of reached not the end of its useful life, but it's that at that break point where it's going to start to cost us more to maintain that vehicle. We have been replacing in the 13 to 15 range in terms of like when those vehicles are starting to get to the point where they're just not working for us anymore. So you can see there's I haven't counted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vehicles on this list. 4 in the water fund for a total of $475,118. And then 1 in the wastewater fund for $325,166. That is our TV van, which I can certainly answer more questions about if you have those, and 2 new sanitation trucks. With that, I am happy to answer questions.
Councilmember Kondo.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Just for our audience, the table at the bottom of page 1 shows either state bid or Sourcewell. I wonder if you could just kind of differentiate those two for us.
Yeah, so state bid, those are just different bids that have gone through a formal process. So when we start hitting numbers over $25,000 for the purchase of something, our city code requires that we go out to bid for that item. In lieu of that, we can use other people's bids in order to use those bids to use for purchase since they've been through competitive process. The state has bids, CDOT has bids, and Sourcewell is a platform that has a bunch of these sorts of bids out there, and we do use them for a variety of things, vehicles being one of them. We'll also purchase chemicals and other things through Sourcewell bids as well. Some of the nice things about state and CDOT bids and the Sourcewell bids is that they're they're buying more vehicles, and so we tend to get better prices buying within those larger purchases.
I was just kind of wondering about that, because when I look at the Ford F-250, for example, obviously the amount, $40K, is just about 2/3 of what the actual price was. So I was just kind of curious as to whether Sourcewell might, given its larger volume, somehow get a better deal, so to speak.
Yeah, so the 40,000 on that line item, we had originally thought that we were going to get something more along the lines of the Ford Ranger. That Ford F-250 is going to go to our facilities maintenance crew, and we wanted something that was able to have a toolbox that would be able to pull a trailer specifically for a generator or something like that, and if we needed it to have a snowplow put on it. And so that was actually an increase from what we're replacing. That is the one piece of equipment that we're going to get something a little bit bigger than what we had originally anticipated.
Yeah. And I see really at the end of the day, some things really did, the actual price actually was below budget, so it looks like it really kind of net was zero, if I'm able to characterize that.
Yes, and we did have, so on the water fund, we were higher than what we had budgeted. In order to account for that, I'm going to go back through my numbers here on the back here. So the F-250 with the 26,000 over, we have other capital equipment funds within the water account that we're not going to be spending, and so we were able to cover that difference there. The dump truck also came in quite a bit more expensive than what we were anticipating. And those we are saving in our operating budget. We have a full crew as of today, knock on wood, who is fully trained. So a lot of the change orders that I have been bringing to you where we've been needing to hire out repairs of water lines, we are doing more of that in-house. And so we've got some savings there, which is super exciting. So we were able to utilize those savings in order to put that towards the tandem truck.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Councilmember Goff?
Thank you. Thank you for being here this evening to answer our questions. So I was just curious, are any of these vehicles electric?
They are not. We are currently, and in fact, they met today, Mara and a variety of our staff from Public Works, looking at what vehicles make the most sense to transfer into an EV situation. These didn't follow on that list, but it is something that we're actively pursuing, making sure that when we're purchasing these vehicles, if they should be EV, that we're
Great.
buying in that way.
Good to hear. Okay, that's wonderful. And then when you order one of these, how long does it take to get them?
It depends on the vehicle. Some of these will be a lot easier to get. The Ford Rangers, you can find those around. They'll range from a few months. The Heil Pythons, the sanitation trucks, those can be 18 months. So we'll put those purchase orders in as soon as it is approved tonight, should you approve it. And it'll be probably next year before we see them.
So we'll have it in one of those CIP carryover presentations. Okay, well, that's my question. Thank you very much.
Councilmember Severs?
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem and Director. Just a few questions to clarify. So the F-450 cutaway, can you speak more on that?
Yeah.
Just right now, it's actually costing $325,000. You can buy a Ford F-150 without anything on it for about $100 or so. Just explain to residents and what it will be used for.
Absolutely. So that's more, this is like the very brief description. The Ford F-450 cutaway is actually going to be a TV van. And so our collection system, in order to maintain it, we flush it and we also TV it. And what that looks like is a CCTV camera on a body that's got like tracks on it, and it will actually drive itself down a wastewater sewer line and video it so that we can actually see what it looks like and if there's obstructions or if there's damage to the pipe. The one we've got right now, end of last year, I think was more broken than it was in use, and so it's reached the end of its useful life. So the 325, that's not just for the F-450, it's for the whole van and the equipment and the camera and all this stuff.
Appreciate you clarifying that. Also, in the vehicle description on the left and the vehicle rating, you have a Ford Bronco at 13, which would tell me, is this replacing a Ford Ranger as well?
The Ford Bronco is actually replacing a 2003 Jeep Liberty. It's a beautiful car. They love it. I'm going to say sarcastically. It's kind of reached the end of its useful life. That vehicle is used by our lab. They have, so it's not just a passenger vehicle. They do water testing throughout our distribution system and also up in the watershed. So they've got equipment and they take big samples and they've got to be able to haul that stuff around. So that's what that's for.
Great. Just to clarify, because someone might think, oh, Ford Bronco, those haven't even been out that long and it's already in shambles. So that's, I thought that was a little. And then obviously we've already spoke, or maybe I was in the crowd, maybe I was up here, I can't remember, but about the sanitation truck delivery, the cost. So we all just, it's a pain. But doing things in-house keeps it cheaper than paying a third party. So although some of these prices might make people nervous, if we're save money down the road by being able to do things ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll clarify, the Ford Bronco is a Ford Bronco Sport. So it's the little guy. Yep.
Councilmember Leidy.
Thank you. Okay, so this is probably a weird question. Do we have like a contract with Ford?
That's a really great question. So when you have a fleet of vehicles, it's best if you have all of the same kind of vehicles because they use the same kind of parts. There's actually specialty software that, so if you go to like a Ford dealership, they'll plug it in, they can see different things if you don't have that Ford specific software. So it's better to have all of the same. Otherwise, you're having to buy different parts, keep more parts in stock, buy different software packages and maintain those different software packages. And so the goal is to center around one maker.
I was going to say, that makes sense. Is that why we're shifting from the Jeep Liberty to all? Okay. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, all of our police cars, just going through, I'm like, oh, Ford is really loving us. Is there a specific, like, dealership that we work with to fix with all these parts? Like, is there a specific one that Northglenn has a connection with, or is it just like whatever?
So we do most of the Ford work we'll do in-house. We've got a crew of 3 people, currently 2, hoping for it to be 3 soon, that maintains all these vehicles. So we're able to do a lot of it in-house. We do have a few places that we send out to, and I'm not sure I could name them off the top of my head.
Excellent. That was a really interesting question. Yeah, it's a good question. And also, thank you, Councilmember Sievers, for asking your question as well, because I think it's important for the public to understand like why these vehicles are a little bit more pricey than other vehicles, because they have to handle a completely different workload and function. So I really appreciate that question. And I don't have any questions because they asked all the questions. And I don't see any other questions. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Please vote.
I will close that vote, and CR 70 passes unanimously.
Thank you. Welcome City Manager Guyer for the City Council quarterly agenda planning item.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. We've got one screen. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So this evening, we are providing an update on our quarterly agenda planning. I'll pause just to let the screens reset. I think we've got both right. Well, maybe not. This is going to be a surprise in a few seconds. What's to come? Okay, I think we might be there. So you've seen this slide before, so I'm not going to read the bullet points to you, but the purpose is to really make sure we're on the same page in terms of how we're moving with agenda planning over the next several months. This is for the period through the end of July. I shifted the schedule just slightly given that I needed to move this item out in agenda meeting in order to accommodate some more higher priority items on a previous agenda. So we'll go over meeting cancellations, any special meetings that we've scheduled, and then certainly this is an opportunity for City Council to make requests to reprioritize any items, as well as just ask questions if you need clarification on any agenda items. So as I mentioned, this item was originally scheduled for April 13th. Having this discussion this evening, I did go ahead and shift the July 13th meeting out to July 27th, as well as October 12th to October 26th. In terms of upcoming meetings, we do have a cancellation for Memorial Day on May 25th. We also, per prior council direction, have canceled the June 22nd meeting in order to address the fact that we won't have a quorum because several council members will be at the Colorado Municipal League Conference, which is here locally in the city of Westminster. As a result, we'll need to have two special meetings that are noted on the screen. Those will take place May 18th and then June 15th. So over the next several slides, I'm not going to read all the items, just pull out some highlights for you. May 4th is the fourth discussion for neighborhood services. So it's exciting that we're moving forward with that. We'll also have some more technical information related to the Section 36 sub-area plan, as well as an overview of the International Building Code adoption, also known as IBCs. May 11th, we'll have several proclamations, and again, on these slides, I did not call out each proclamation, but we do have several proclamations planned. We'll have a presentation on the Youth Resource Assessment Center, formerly known as the Youth Link. And then we'll have Deputy City Manager Loveland will provide the March financial report, as well as those other items, contracts in nature, as well as some award agreements. On May 18th, important to note that the mayor, myself, and Director Moding will not be present at that meeting. We will be at the ICSC conference in Las Vegas. You do have an exciting night planned with the Northglenn High School time capsule art piece presentation. And then there will be a couple other items there in terms of the sculpture garden design work that's underway to coincide with the 250-150 celebration, as well as an IGA with Adams 12 School District. On June 1st, you'll hear the second update from Joy Riot, the third party that was hired by the city to conduct the communications and marketing assessment. Their second update will focus on feedback that they've received through 6 stakeholder meetings that they've just recently wrapped up conducting with staff members in group formats, as well as other progress that they've made along the way. You'll also hear a report out from Adam Berg, our lobbyist, for the end of the state legislative session report. So this is a bit on on the earlier side than normal, but it's great timing given the near wrap-up of the legislative session. We've also scheduled a stormwater assessment conversation with you, and then Director Modine will provide an economic development and NERA update for you, which we try to do those on a quarterly basis, if not a couple times a year, pending timing. On June 8th, you see that we've got a pretty full agenda. A couple of the highlights on that agenda that I'll call out include the audit, as well as the public hearing, second reading for natural medicine UDO amendments per council direction, as well as first reading for the automated speed enforcement cameras and speed corridors, along with the Vera Mobility automated enforcement cameras contract. So quite a bit of work to be done there. And then on June 14th, right now it's a fairly light agenda, but I'm sure we'll add some items as we progress over the next couple weeks. So not concerned about that. On July 6th, we have an accessory dwelling unit conversation, and I'm sure we'll add something else to that agenda. On July 13th, right now we have the May financial report, which will be financial information through April. And then we have some IBC work along with additional steps with the speed enforcement cameras. I do have a non-binding resolution for FPPA scheduled on this council agenda. I am looking at scheduling another conversation pre this meeting. I just haven't figured out the timing of that conversation yet, but I will be doing that within the next week. And then a long-awaited Civic Campus parking lot contract. July 20th is open right now, but Deputy City Manager Loveland and I just had a conversation today. We're likely going to hold that for budget discussions that are on the horizon. So don't be concerned that that is not full yet. And then July 27th, we'll have beautification awards, and just a reminder, the beautification awards are going to be focused on water-wise yards per the direction that council provided to us with the drought conditions we're experiencing right now. We'll have a report from the Youth Commission, and then another quarterly agenda planning report, as well as a performance check-in from me. So that brings us through July 27th. Any questions I can answer, or anything you need more context on?
I do not see any hands up, which means that we must all agree that this looks great. And I think I don't have any concerns with what you've scheduled in the Outlook. And it appears that nobody does as well. So thank you for
Okay, fantastic.
presenting
Thank
that.
you.
All right, public invited to be heard. This is an opportunity for public comment. Statements are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Comments must be related to an item previously addressed by council during the meeting. I have to say it. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to council? There is no one. That's okay. Is there anyone on the phone who would like to speak to council? Press star 6. No? Wonderful. Great, so there is no one here for public comment. We have an executive session, so I will entertain a motion that the City Council hold an executive session pursuant to Section 4.5A of the City of Northglenn Home Rule Charter for personnel matters regarding a city manager performance check-in.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Is there any? Great job. Is there any discussion, any questions on this? Excellent. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Please vote.
I will close that vote, and the motion to meet in executive session passes unanimously.
We will now adjourn to the executive session.